So today we will be discussing the problem regarding the equilibrium of rigid bodies with respect to their reaction support. So in this problem, determine the horizontal and vertical components of reaction of the support. Neglect the thickness of the beam. So we have the given forces of 500 and 600 pound-foot. So in the given problem, we have the two support, the pin support and the ruler support. So in the pin support, we already know that in pin support we have only one reaction, the vertical reaction, and we label that as Vy. And for the pin support, we have two reactions, the vertical components and the horizontal components, the Ax and Ay. So first things first is we have to solve for the summation of moment A. Summation of forces moment A is equal to 0, which is 600 plus the 500 over the vertical component of 4 over 5 times the distance from A, which is 5 feet, times 5 minus By times the distance from A to By, which is 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. And that is equal to 0. We can solve that using the basic algebra. So this one is 600 plus 500 times 4 over 5 times 5. That is equal to 2,600 minus By times 10. By times 10. So, transfer By is equal to 2,600 over 10. So, the By is now equal to 260 pounds. And that is our answer for the By. The next to solve is our summation of forces along Y. So for the summation of forces along Y is equal to 0. So Ay plus By minus 500 times the vertical component of summation forces along Y, which is 4 over 5 equal to 0. So again, using the value of the By, that is 260 minus 500 times 40, that is 400, is equal to 0. So using basic algebra, we can solve for Ay. So Ay is equal to 400 minus 260. So Ay now is equal to 140 pounds. Now, we are going to solve for summation of forces along X. The summation of forces along X is equal to 0. So, the sign for the Ax is negative since is going to the negative quadrant or going to the left. So AX plus the magnitude of 500 times the horizontal component, the 3 over 5, and that is equal to 0. So negative AX plus 500 and plus 500 plus plus 500 times 350, that is equal to 300 equal to 0. So now the value of the AX is equal to 300. And now we have all the value that is required, which is the summation of moment A, which is 260 pounds, the summation of forces along Y 140, and summation of forces along X is equal to 300 Kelvin. So do you have any questions or clarification? None so far. Final figure, so we just need to get the value that we got, which is the Py is equal to 260, and the Ax is 300 LV, this one is 300 LV, and the Ey is equal to 140 LV. So Cartesian forces is Cartesian force na 140 LV.
Good day everyone. So here is the problem number 2. So determine the horizontal and vertical component of the reaction at point A and the reaction at the beam at point C. So first we all have to know that the force Tn is going downward, or the force Tn, 4kN or 4 kilonewton is going downward. So the force at point C is going upward. So this is F. So we have to know that the point C has two components, which is the Fx and Fy. Fy and Fx. So also we need to identify the components of point C, which is the horizontal and vertical. So this is the AX and AY. So if you're wondering why the direction of AX is going to the left, because as you can see, the force at point C is going to the right. So bawal magtagbo ang duha ka forces. And then for now, we can calculate or start calculating the summation of moment at point A is equal to 0. So here, the rotation is clockwise. So, Fy, negative Fy, since it's in the fourth quadrant, so Fy is equal negative Fy, then the direction or the distance of point C to point A is 1.5 meters. So 1.5 plus the forces 4kN times the distance from point B to point A is equals to 3 meters. We sum up the 1.5 and 1.5 meters. That's why we come up with 3 meters. So, is equal to 0. So, to get the value of Fy, we only have to do is isolate the Fy. So, the Fy, negative Fy will become positive. So, Fy, and if or TN per meter or TN. We can do it in like mano-mano. So first is that we have to get the value of 4 times 3 is equal to 12 divided by 1.5. Oh, the answer is the same, which is 8 AN. So for fx, as we can see in the Fibonacci diagram or the figure, it has a triangle here. So in order to get the theta, we all know that the formula of the theta is equal to inverse tan 1.5 times 1.5. So theta is equal to 45 degrees. So to get the fx, we have to use this formula. So fx is equal to f cos theta. Since we don't have the value of f, and since we have the value of y, we can substitute the value of f, y, and theta. So first we have to get the fy is equal to f sine theta. Since we have the value of fy and theta, all we have to do is substitute. So 8 kn is equal to f sine 45. So isolate the f. The answer is below. 11.31 kn. Since we have the value of f, we can now solve for fx. So fx is equal to 11.31 cosine 45 is equal to 7.997 kn, or simply 8 kn. So to get the value, so now we are going to find the ax and ay. So summation of forces fx, summation fx is equal to 0. So negative ax, negative siya kaya it's going to the left, and it's, as we all know, that the quadrant at the second quadrant is negative. So negative ax plus fx is equal to 0. So ax is equal to, since we all know that fx is equal to 8 kn. So ax is 8 kn. And for the fy, or to get the value of ay, summation of forces y is equal to 0. So ay, positive, it is positive since it is going up. So ay plus fy minus 4k is equal to 0. So ay, to get the value of ay, we have to substitute the value of fy, which is 8 kn minus 4 kn is equal to 0. So ay is equal to negative 4k. Since it is negative, we have to change the direction, which is ay now is going downwards. So that's it. Any questions? So now we get all the values that are needed from point A
Juan Garmusula. That Garmusula.
So, if plotting na siya, the AY will be now going downwards. So, it's equal to 4 kn, and also the 8x, which is 8 kn, the fy, which is equal to 8 kn, and the fx, which is also equal to 8 kn. That ends our presentation. Thank you po.